I'm recording a vlog.
Okay.
You want to chime in? He's like, no, I'm reading something. Oh, what a day. Oh my God. So let's review. You woke me up at 4:22 a.m. It's morning. The sun was up at 4:22 a.m. First off. And I am on the private patio. There's a private garden at our first hotel we're staying at. It's very cool. So we have a like private garden here. It's very cool and it's beautiful out. Prettiest night yet. Not too cold, not too warm. It's warm. This is the warmest. This is much warmer than last night, I think, but not overly warm. I have a jacket. I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm wearing your shirt. So I made the mistake of packing too little for the first time ever. Then I thought, I need to go shopping and buy, I'm not going to pack a lot because I want to get a couple of long sleeve shirts. But the Rammstein pop-up shop is Saturday morning, so that's when I'm probably going to get a couple of shirts. Anywho, today, what time did we actually set out like about 8:10 in the morning? We were a little bit late, remember? We were waiting for people.
Yeah.
8:10 in the morning, went to, should I turn this sideways? I don't know. Nah. You know what? You guys are getting it this way. Not doing landscape mode. Don't care. I had 2 whiskeys and the best martini of my entire life. That was seriously, I want to go back there and get another one of those. I have to at least have one more of those martinis before we leave Dublin because it was so good. But yeah, 8:10. We actually started walking. We had to walk to the bus stop. And we took a bus tour all the way across Ireland, which is strangely only about the size of Michigan. I never realized how similar in size Michigan and Ireland are, which is so cuckoo. Like when you drive across Michigan, it's very close in distance and time to driving across Ireland, which is blew my mind. I downloaded maps and I was comparing them. I'm like, this is weird. It's like driving from St. Clair Shores to Saugatuck, if you know Michigan. So that's what it's like driving from like from Dublin to Galway, or to the Cliffs of Moher, where we went today. And yeah, so the bus was really comfortable. We had a really cool bus driver. He was hilarious. Thing is, I totally expected it was going to be like traditional like Irish bus driver. He was from Portugal. He's Portuguese. He's over there laughing. And our friend Joe is Portuguese, so it was just kind of funny. And I laughed every time because he would say because. He couldn't say because. He'd say because. Because. And he had the coolest, like, weird... You could tell he had a weird mix of accent because I couldn't place his accent at first. But he's been living here for... Who knows? Did he say how long he's been living here for? I don't think so. A long time. He just said he came here and just kind of never left. Like, I could see how one could do that. So his name was Eduardo, and he was wonderful, and we gave him a really good tip, and I thanked him profusely on Instagram and tagged the bus company because it was really fun. Anyway, we had this really comfy bus, which strangely, this bus was more comfortable than our plane flying here. I'm like, I leaned over. Remember I said, I looked at you and I go, is it just me or are these bus seats more comfortable than our plane seats for 7 hours? Yeah, the bus seats were really comfortable. They reclined back. Oh my God. And we had USB plugs above so that we could plug our phones in to say, they think of everything. And they have Wi-Fi on the buses, which is cool. So I was, there's like, you start out driving and it's kind of cool because when you're in Dublin, he's telling you all these things about buildings and history. And he really breaks it up. He broke it up really well with, what I liked was he broke it up with telling stories and history and background. But then he would say, I'm just going to let you guys just nap or relax for a while. I'm not going to talk for a while. So he would stop talking. It wasn't like one of those tours where blah, 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 and it was overwhelming. It's like, no, can you stop talking? he would just have these times where he'd say, we're going to have like quiet time. And so once we got on kind of the freeway here and we were going all the way across Ireland. So it was, was it 2.5 hours ish?
Yeah.
It was about 2 hours before our first stop. Then we stopped at a fuel stop. We had to do a fuel stop, which was great because I got the big bottle of water and I did the 60-second review of the sparkling mineral water. And then we got to hit the bathrooms and all that, and people got snacks and whatnot. We just got water. And then we kept going on, and then we stopped a couple other places. And it was really cool because there was like a place that he said normally they can't stop, and we stopped. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I forgot, where was that? It was past the Burren. It was past the Burren, but it wasn't to Cliffs of Moher yet. So it was along the Wild Atlantic Way. That road is a freaking insane, scary road. I don't know how these guys do this in these buses. It's like, have you seen the documentaries on that crazy road? And was in Colombia or Peru or wherever? That one that's along the mountain. Remember they did it on Top Gear, and it's like a one-track road. Yeah, the Death Road.
Yeah.
This is like the Irish Death Road.
Yeah, seriously.
It is. It's like, it was crazy. So somebody in a caravan went by and actually clipped our bus's mirror. And he goes, you can always tell the tourists, they don't know how to drive. Like, the thing that freaked me out was the traffic circles the opposite direction. So everybody in the United States, we're used to, when you come through a traffic circle, you go to the right and you go around. Well, everything is on the left here. It's just like in London or England. So everything is on the left. So we go into the traffic circle and we're in the left lane and going to the left. And I'm like, my brain cannot process these traffic circles. Or a roundabout. You might call them a roundabout as well. Couldn't process it. It was so crazy. The ride was just really nice though, but it was very, like there was a couple hours where there's just like a lot of nothing. It was just green. It looked a lot like Pennsylvania, if I'm honest. It looked like parts of Pennsylvania where we're from. There was just freeway going by random woods. And by the way, I know I'm sitting in the dark. I don't care. I like this lighting. I think this is so cool. It's a mood. It's a mood. Go with it. But yeah, so it was kind of quiet. He slept the whole time, the 2 hours. Not the whole time, but most of the time. Well, that time on the freeway. Yeah, a good amount. I was worried. I kept poking him with a stick. Are you still with us? He caught up on sleep, which is why you're wide awake.
Not for long.
Not for long? Oh, okay. So, yeah, so it was, a little over 2 hours of just freeway. And nothing to see, really. There wasn't anything. And even our driver at Aurora was like, there's nothing I can tell you about this. But then as we started getting closer to, like, the rest stop, he was telling us the history of Ireland. And I knew a lot of the stuff, but it's cool because we just learned about, like, the Vikings, then the Normans, and people coming into Ireland. And so a lot about history and about the areas of Ireland, the north, south, east, west, and the different counties. So he talked about all that. Got to the first rest stop, and then it starts getting cool because then when you start getting into the Burren, which is like in the Wild Atlantic Way, it's just absolutely amazing. So now we have a new goal. Well, I have a new goal. I don't know about you. Now we have to make at least 2 trips back here because I want to do a tour of the entire west coast of Ireland. And I wanted to see the entire Wild Atlantic Way, but I want to take it would be so cool to take 5 or 6 days and just do the whole Wild Atlantic Way. I don't know how long it would take you to see it, but I'd want to take my time. It's just, there's the one area we stopped and got out, it was that we got out, it's just that sea spray was in the air, that Atlantic sea spray, and I said, oh my God, it's my favorite smell, just that ocean sea spray from the Atlantic. And our tour guide talked a lot about how it's very hard living year round there because it's so cold and it's so brutal. And I'm like, I would love it. We were joking. We're like, we're the people to live there year round because it's cold, it's brutal, it's barren. But we actually love that gray, overcast, with the very moody ocean and the low clouds and the mist. It's just, there's, I don't know, there's nowhere else that I've been that's like that. So this was such a huge bucket list things. I wanted to go there like my whole life. It's weird because I really thought, so once we got to the cliffs, I thought it was going to be a lot more emotional than I was. Here's why I think I wasn't. I had commented that like when we get to the actual cliffs of Moher, I'm probably going to cry. And by the way, happy summer solstice. Yay! We spent the summer solstice on the Wild Atlantic Way and the cliffs of Moher and Bunratty. And I celebrated by a very good martini at church, at the Church Cafe, which is my new favorite place in Dublin. And I went back to, we call it the scene of the crime, which is the Whiskey Reserve. Hubby's over there laughing. The Whiskey Reserve, where I saw Angel, who was I can't never call Angel a bartender. He is not a bartender. He is a tour guide to Irish and whiskeys around the world. I've never, just the knowledge. He's basically a librarian for whiskey is what he is. I would say that I don't know. Anyway, I went in and I saw him and I gave him a hug and I got a picture with him and I'm going to put it on Instagram. I was so glad he was there. I'm like, oh, we love you. Actually, I was teasing him. I was going, you knocked my husband out last night. He was out. But, oh, I mean, the amount of knowledge, and he is young. He's like young, and the amount of knowledge he has of whiskeys is just, I mean, the two of us added together, we could only wish to know as much as he knows about whiskey. It is insane.
Yeah, he's forgotten more things than I'll ever know.
Yeah, he's forgotten more things than we'll ever know, added together, times 2. It's just, I was very happy that I told him about Ardbeg Kelpie, which he was not familiar with. I'm like, aha, I know a whiskey that Angel did not know, and it's Ardbeg Kelpie. Ardbeg Kelpie, I called it my life-changing whiskey. I said there was life before Ardbeg Kelpie, and there's life after Ardbeg Kelpie. Whiskey connoisseurs, well, specifically the Scotch whiskeys. Ardbeg is a distillery in Scotland, and we are big fans of Ardbeg, but the Ardbeg Kelpie was my absolute favorite I've ever had. You like the Smoky Smokies, but the Ardbeg Kelpie was, I don't know, it was just, it sounds goofy to say that a whiskey is life-changing, but the two, like, we don't drink whiskey to get drunk. We drink whiskey as a tasting experience. It's like people who go to gourmet restaurants and they have like a 7-course meal and they're those little tiny portions, and it's not about the portions. It's like about the creativity and the craft that goes into making it. And I think we had this huge conversation with this couple we met at the bar yesterday. We ended up sitting and drinking and talking with them for like 3 to 4 hours. And they're our new best friends in the world. They're amazing. Shout out, if they're watching this, to Gerardo and Judith. I will never forget your names because they're two of the coolest names and the coolest couple. They've been together, I think they said 9 years. They are originally from southern Texas, the southernmost Texas, right along the border. They've been living in Dublin they're living in Dublin for 1.5 years. And they are like my aspirational couple. I said they inspired me to say, maybe we could do this someday. Maybe we could actually do this. They're doing it. I mean, how do you do that? I want to write to them and go, how do you do it? But it just makes you go, there's people you meet that you're just like, wow. We were talking about it over very expensive whiskeys at the Whiskey Reserve. Just talking about life and having all these like crazy conversations. We were laughing, we were crying, we were talking about whiskey, and Judith and I were talking about how a female palate tasting whiskeys, we taste things that the guys, our husbands, don't taste, and we kind of approach it differently. Like we'll taste, as if we think we taste like the fruitiness, like I got that banana and red licorice in this bottle that we just went back and got tonight. Method and Madness, which is my new favorite. So Method and Madness, Angel introduced me to. Angel is my whiskey librarian now. But he watched what we were drinking, and then he would just go over and pull things down. He was like Ollivander in the Harry Potter thing. He's like, and he'd go pull something down. He reminded me of Ollivander in the wand shop in Harry Potter. He'd be like, oh, for you, I think this. And he actually said, Angel actually said, okay, I see what your flavor profile is now. I'm going to suggest some things for you. And he would bring some whiskeys over for us to try that some of them we'd never heard of. We knew nothing about them. The thing that's crazy is you can't get them in the United States at all. They are not exported. The one that I just got, I went back for because I can't stop thinking about it. It's called Method and Madness, and it's an experimental distillery, and it is the apprentices and the master distillers who got together, and they have a small building in this distillery, and it's in Cork. He said, getting hiccupy. I want to go down there now. Next trip, going there too. But it's the apprentices and the master distillers who are playing with different flavors and different mixes. So this crazy single pot still that I got is, two of the notes in it are banana and red licorice. It sounds crazy, but as soon as I heard banana, I said, I get the banana smell like it's hitting me in the face. Now, the husbands did not get the banana smell. I handed it to Judith, and she goes, all I smell is bananas, now that you said that. That seagull smells the bananas.
Yeah.
Cue the seagulls. It's so weird. We'll be in our room. Our room is actually, it's right up there. It's overlooking this courtyard because we saw these vines out our windows. It's right up here somewhere. There's probably people in these rooms going, shut up, you weird vlogger. I'm trying to sleep up here. But yeah, so we had this conversation, part of our conversation yesterday at the Whiskey Reserve, which is basically, it's like a museum and library of... Really? They're like, nobody cares. It's like this museum and library.
Your vlog is mine?
Mine? Your vlog is mine? Oh, you're rats with wings. And here come the movie quotes. No, it's just probably the coolest place that I think it's the coolest. I can't call it a bar. It's barely a bar. It is a whiskey. It's whiskey mecca. Is what it is. There are bottles there that we've never seen. We were joking that we were looking in the case again tonight. We went back there and got my bottle that we didn't get yesterday. And there are bottles we've never seen, and probably bottles that are worth more than our home in there. Really, we're like, that bottle right there, that's my car. Like there's bottles in there, I'm sure, that are the cost of my Jeep. I am certain. But yeah, I can't even imagine the qualifications you need to work at this place and how much you have to study. But just the memory, like what he remembers, like what Angel remembers about all these, he knows the distilleries and he knows who makes what and what the profiles are. And to be able to see someone taste like a bunch of whiskeys, and out of these, probably thousands of bottles they have there. Just to go, okay, you would like this, and this. But they have some bottles there that they don't even have tasting bottles open. So it's like, unless you want to spend $10,000 and buy that bottle, you're not tasting it. It's insane. So, yeah, we had so many cool discussions with our new friends in Dublin yesterday. What else has been going on? I don't know. The cliffs were amazing. Oh, so I was saying, I was surprised. I thought for sure I was going to get out at the cliffs and cry. I'm like, it's going to be so emotional to see the cliffs of Moher for the first time, and see the Atlantic Ocean. And I was like, wow, they're really cool. But I was like, I want to hike it. I want to run. And he's getting frustrated with me because I wanted to run. I actually wanted to like trail run the cliffs, which is so cool. I have to say, if I wouldn't have been going to the gym consistently for the last like month, I would have been miserable. I mean, I've been just trucking around. How many? We have to walk a little bit more. It's 19,721 steps. I'm trying to get to 20,000 steps today. I can just walk up and down the street.
Yeah.
I'll go walk up and down the street for 5 minutes. Like,
Right?
Oh, there's a little breeze out here. Thank you. Yep, we're at 19,721. Maybe I should just go pace while I'm vlogging.
Yeah.
People will be like, stop moving, I'm getting seasick. So I think the reason I didn't get as emotional at the cliffs is, okay, when I first saw the Cliffs of Moher was when I was a teenager, and I saw pictures and I saw paintings and different things of it. And it was very, how can I say this? Like, it's kind of, remember, I'm going to talk to my husband for a second. Remember when they opened Bushkill Falls and it was really crazy? And then over the last 14 years, they built it up and built all the decking and all the railings.
Yeah.
When we first moved 14 years ago, it was like, hike the falls at your own risk. You may fall over into the river. You know, it was really scary. And now they've idiot-proofed it, for lack of a better word. They've idiot-proofed it. So, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it's built up, and it's nice because if you can't walk very well or hike very well, it is easier to get around. But I think I expected the cliffs to be much more like wild, like uninhabited. Like it was, they've made it very accessible to tourists, which is great for them. And I understand why they have to do that. But I expect it to be like a little more like you go there and it's more barren. You know what I mean? Like more wild, barren.
I don't know, honey. You're at any one of those points, you're 3 steps away from
Falling into the ocean?
Falling 1,000 feet into the ocean.
But I mean, when you look around, there's just people everywhere, is what I'm saying. Like, I expect it to be a little, it's touristy.
It's like Everest.
Yeah, it's like Everest. Okay, yeah, that's a perfect thing. Mount Everest, decades ago, you had to be like a crazy wackadoo to go to Everest. Now it's like a tourist there's like all these rich Silicon Valley guys going and dying on Everest because they're not so smart. No, they're, it's like this rich guy destination or whatever, and it's turned into this like crazy, where the tourists are actually ruining Mount Everest. They've had to pass all these laws and make all these rules because it's like such a destination now. And I guess I just expected it to be a little more wild and a little more like untouched than it was. And it's still gorgeous. It doesn't take away how gorgeous it was. But I think if it was like, I expected like me, like this lone little person walking on the cliffs kind of thing. And it's like, no, you're there with like 1,000 people. There's a lot of people. It was cool though. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. But I think the emotion didn't hit me like it would have because of like golf carts driving people up the, that couldn't walk there, and all the tourist stuff. I was like, okay, well, it is gorgeous, but it's a little more touristy than I guess in my head I had this image of it being very, they call it the wild Atlantic way, like nobody's there. It's like, oh yeah, everybody's there. Everybody's there. The one thing I did that was really wise was I did read online, if you are ever going to go there, don't go there Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Go there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Because as it was crowded when we were there. But if you go, I read that if you go on a weekend, it is like bumper to bumper. The trail is just like, you're just like a line of, like you're being like cattle going up and down the paths and the trails. So it is, I think he said 5 miles, right? 5 miles or so.
I think so, but you can keep going for.
You can keep the Wild Atlantic Way. You can just keep hiking, and there's all these places you can go. But another goal is to do the entire length of the Cliffs of Moher. I'd like to do that. I would like to do the whole 5 miles. So I did turn my Garmin on and I put it on walking. So when we walked the Cliffs of Moher, we did. What did I say? 2.3 miles is how much we walked around from the bus up to the cliffs. We went to the left. We went all the way to this highest point, and then we came back. and then we went over the other way, and then we came back, and then we went back down to the bus, and it was 2.3 miles. So it was a good walk. You really, I don't want to say you have to be in epic shape, but you need the time to like go walk it. So with our tour group, we were there for 90 minutes, and it took us that whole 90 minutes to do the 2.5 miles, take a whole bunch of pictures. We kept stopping and taking pictures, obviously. And then afterwards we went to the gift shops. They have little gift shops there and stuff, and I grabbed a couple of things. So that was cool. And then we stopped at Bunratty Castle. Bunratty. So Luna's new name is Bunratty. Bunratty. I'm going to be calling Bunratty now. And I forgot one thing when we were there. The one thing I wanted to get. I wanted to see if they had a little child's t-shirt that said Bunratty, because I wanted to get it for Luna Bun, so she could run around a Bunratty shirt. So I have an excuse to come back now. We have many excuses to come back. We're already planning. I don't know how we're going to do Germany, Paris, and Dublin in the next year or two. Like, he's over there. We went to dinner. So, shout out again to Eduardo, our driver, who said, don't go to Temple Bar. It's so touristy. Everything is really expensive, which it's still fun. We went and walked around there. That's where the whiskey reserve is. And yes, it's more expensive and it is touristy, but it's fun. And
he said just start there and go somewhere else.
He said start there. Yeah, start there and go somewhere else quickly. So you want to go see it, but there's so many bars off the beaten path. So he told us about this place called the Church Cafe and Restaurant, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff. And it's an old converted church that they've turned into a bar and restaurant. Oh my God. The food was amazing. Service was incredible. Our waitress is going to Rammstein on Sunday. It was so cool. So we don't even know how she brought it up. She's like, are you going to Rammstein Sunday? I'm like, do we look like we're going to? I guess we just have Rammstein written all over us. Because we're not wearing our Rammstein shirts, which was kind of interesting. She kind of like, I don't know, we sense our own maybe. You're a Rammstein fan, aren't you? So she's in the blue zone. We are in red. And as we were walking around Temple Bar yesterday, we ran into two guys who are here from Seattle, two Americans from Seattle who saw my hubby wearing his Rammstein shirt. And he's like, oh, are you guys going? We're like, yeah, we got Fire Zone tickets. They're like, oh, we're trying to find tickets. I said, oh my God, I have 2 extra tickets. Because I bought extra tickets hoping that my friends Jamie and Jeremy would come too, or Jamie would at least come and maybe bring somebody with him. And he couldn't, so I've been stuck with 2 extra tickets. The problem is I can't resell them online because I bought them in the fan club pre-sale. I went on the Rammstein Reddit forum, and everybody's like, no, if you buy them on the pre-sale, you can't resell them. It's there's no option to resell them. So, yeah, we ran into these guys. I gave them my information, and I'm like, they're seeing Pearl Jam. They flew out here. They're seeing Pearl Jam on Saturday night, and they want to go see Rammstein on Sunday. And I'm like, these are Gen Xers. These are our people. They're probably around our age. And they're like, oh my God, we heard they were playing. We're like, oh, how cool would it be to see both of them? And I said, well, it makes me feel bad that I know that this concert is massively sold out. And I've seen on the Reddit forums, like, just people begging for tickets. And it kills me that I can't sell the tickets to anyone because they're in different countries around Europe. We just ran into these guys, and I said, look, I'm not looking to, I'm not jacking the price up, just, what we paid for it, cool. And he said, do you have Venmo? And I'm like, yeah, I have Venmo, cool. And I said, we're staying at the hotel 5 minutes from the concert. We can meet you at the hotel. I can make sure I have my tickets in my phone. I have them on my Apple Wallet. All 4 of the tickets are in my Apple Wallet. So I can go take them, get them in, make sure they get in, and then we can go in. So I think it's going to work out. I'm going to make sure, though, and make sure these guys get in, because it makes me feel guilty and bad that I'm sitting on 2 tickets and there's so many people out there who want to see this show and they deserve to see this show. So if I can help 2 people see the show, especially these 2 guys from Seattle, they had we were joking, they had over twice our flight.
Yeah.
To go from Seattle to to freaking Dublin. Oh my God, I can't imagine. Talk about jet lag. Holy shiza. That's some serious jet lag. How many hours is that? Because it's 5 to Seattle. Is that a 12-hour time difference?
It's probably
No,
over.
10. 10 to 10. 10. 5 and then 5 to Dublin. And then, wait.
Don't make
Pacific?
me do math.
Don't make me math, it's late.
Yeah.
It's either 9 or 10 hours. Anyway, they have a serious time difference. But they were really cool. He texted me today. I said, hey, I'm on a bus on the other side. I'm on the other side of Ireland right now, but I will talk to you over the weekend, but I'll let you know when we check in at our hotel. Luckily, the hotel we're staying at, like I said, we're going to be, unfortunately, leaving this awesome place that we love right on the river, right on River Liffey. You go over the bridge, you're in Temple Bar. We are literally, the Halfpenny Bridge, we're right over the bridge, right across the street from Temple Bar, which has been amazing. That was his suggestion. He said, stay anywhere around this area. I'm like, all right. So tomorrow at noon, we go to the Irish Whiskey Museum and do a tasting there for an hour and hear about the whole history of Irish whiskey and all the background. And you get to see a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So that'll be very cool. And we get a souvenir glass to bring home. I have to make sure we don't break them. They're going in carry-on, wrapped in lots of paper and bubble wrap. And I did, I brought bubble wrap with me because I'm a weirdo. I knew I was going to get something breakable, so not that you can't buy bubble wrap anywhere in Dublin, but and then that's from 12 to 1, and then at 4:15 we are going on the River Liffey river cruise because I just like sitting on a boat and doing nothing. After we drink some whiskey, we're going to get something to eat, and we're going to walk around again, and then we're going to go on the boat. There's a few things I want to do tomorrow that I have listed because then we're going to leave this area and we're going to be staying south of Dublin. We're going to be actually a little outside of this area. It's going to be about a 20-minute walk to walk back to. It'd be 20 to 30 minutes for us to walk back to Temple Bar. So we're kind of getting all of this area stuff out of our system these 3 days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're right in Temple Bar. And then we are heading down to near where the RDS Arena is. And we're staying at this really, really cool hotel that was, what did I say, 1890. It was a Masonic girls' school. It's really pretty, and it's been converted into this crazy 4-star restaurant that I'm really excited to check out. And they have all kinds of, they have high tea there. So I think one of the things I'm really looking forward to doing is the high tea. I think we'll do that with Sunday. Saturday, I bought us tickets for the hop-on, hop-off buses, which are the big green buses, and you can just hop on and off anywhere. Now, Saturday's the perfect day to do that since we're going to be, like I said, 20 minutes walking distance, 20 to 30 minutes south of the Temple Bar area and all the touristy stuff up here. So we can just hop on, hop off the bus, and our passes are good for 24 hours. So from noon on Saturday until noon on Sunday, we can hop on and off those buses all day and night, whatever we want to do. So that'll be awesome. Although I do want to get a lot of steps in. I'm shooting for like 20 steps a day, or 2,000 steps a day, 20K a day steps. So I do have my Garmin, trying to get the steps in. What else we got to talk about? Sunday, we don't have any plans yet. Sunday, we're going to play it by ear, although Sunday I do want to do the high tea, if we can, and then we'll do the high tea at the restaurant, and then we'll get ready for Rammstein, and the concert's at 7. But we're in the fire zone, so we want to get there as early as we can, within reason, because it's going to be like a mad rush to get us. I don't want to get as close to the stage as possible. I want to get as close between where, if you don't know Rammstein, you won't understand this, but where the rafts go. They have these, like, how would you explain it? The inflatable rafts.
Yeah,
and yeah, they're like life rafts, and they kind of crowd surf the rafts along, and all the fans carry the band from this pedestal to the stage at midway through the show, kind of. They take a break. They go through all this underground stuff and go around, and they come up in the middle of the stadium, and then everybody kind of like carries them across the life rafts back to the stage. It is absolutely my goal to be under one of those life rafts, helping them go across. And if Richard, who's the lead guitar player, the whole time he signs postcards and tosses them out, I'm going to be clawing and biting to get one of those postcards if we are under where the rafts are. I'm going to be like, I really want to try to get one. So I'm not so much for being right in front of the stage as I am like maybe in the path of the rafts and we'll see where the thing is built, where they're going to be on, so I can kind of eyeball the line. So if we're anywhere along there, I'm happy with it. I don't need to be right up front. Plus, you're not, even in the fire zone, you're not right in front of the stage. There's a big, huge gap. I don't know if you noticed that in all the videos. There's a huge, what is it, like 15, 20 feet at least between the stage, and mostly because they have all the pyrotechnics and all the fire and everything. They can't have people up against the stage. There's lots of explosions, lots of fireworks, lots of fire things going on. So that's Sunday night. Monday, we have no plans. Monday, we're going to be going, oh my God, Rammstein. The greatest thing about this concert is that it's 5 minutes away from our hotel by foot. Where when we saw them in Paris, we didn't get back to our hotel until 2:30 in the morning. And it was, 45 minutes to an hour of metro. And we had to take three different metro lines, I believe, in order to get to Saint Denis, where the stadium was, from where we were staying in the 10th arrondissement. So it was 3 different subway lines. We had to get on and off, get all the way out there, do the same thing all the way back. And then it was another, 15 minutes walk from the subway station, the metro station. Sorry, I say subway, but it's a metro station. From there to our hotel. So it was a long time. It was a good hour. Well, by the time we waited too, because everybody was trying to get out of there. So it took us maybe 2 hours just to leave 2 to 3 hours just to leave the concert, get out of the stadium and get back to our hotel. We're going to get out of there. We're going to be like 5-minute walk. We're at our hotel. We'll probably still be in crowds of people, but at least our hotel is right there. So that is going to be very refreshing and very nice to get out of there and not be, we'll just stumble into our hotel instead of trying to navigate through metro stations at midnight in Paris. So with a language that you don't speak, is this the right one? I think it's really late. We're so mind blown from Rammstein, and we're trying to, it's a miracle we made it back okay. It's because our brains were so overloaded. It was like sensory overload. So it's going to be really cool to just be able to go to our hotel room. And I did bring because we're so close, I'm going to be able to really dress up this time. I kind of just had to wing it the last time in Paris, and this time I can really go all out with like what I'm dressing up at the concert. I'm dressing like Till again from the Adieu video, so I'm going to do my full mohawk, my Liberty Spike kind of mohawk, and I'm doing the black makeup that he did. It's in this video called Adieu. It's ADIEU by Rammstein. Go watch it. It's incredible. I should link it below in the comments. You should go watch it. It is basically a movie. It looks like a multi-million-dollar movie. It's insane. The funniest comment I saw, I said the top comment was, oh, if only they had spent more money on this video. And I will always laugh at that. Because it looks better than some Hollywood movies. It's absolutely insane. Even if you don't know Rammstein or anything about them, go watch a video called Adieu by them. Amazing, beautiful cinematography, the story behind it. There's all this symbolism in it too that you won't know unless you know the band, but it's kind of the history of the band in the video too, which is why we thought that in Paris that was going to be their last tour ever. This is their 30th anniversary tour. Yeah, 30, not 40. I keep wanting to say 40. I think it's 30. They really 1994 I think was their official kind of start date. So we were hoping they were going to still keep going this year, and they'll probably still keep touring next year. I think those guys are going to keep. They're like the Rolling Stones of Germany. They will like keep touring until they can't tour, and we will keep going to see them until they stop touring. Honestly, we're already gonna have to plan a trip next year when they play again, or if they tour again in Europe. We're gonna find a different. Next year will have to be next year in Germany.
Yeah.
Next year we'll see them in Germany because we were gonna go see them in Dresden. That was one of the possibilities. They played, I think, 3 or 4 dates in Dresden. They kept adding. I think they started with 2, then they added 3, then they made it 4. They kept adding Dresden dates. We were going to go see them in Dresden, but when it came up that they were playing in Dublin, they haven't played here since, I think, 2009. So them coming to Dublin is just such a huge event. And I talked about this before, but hubby's been trying to get me to Dublin since he was here in 2019. So here we are. And I thought, well, this is great because we can go to Dublin and see Rammstein. 2 birds, 1 stone. Okay, should we go up to the room?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else to talk about. So Monday we have no plans. We're gonna just do whatever we want to do the last day, and Tuesday we are going to be heading back to. Well, I'm happy to see our dogs, but so go check out my Instagram. It is NITEMAREBLISS. The 2 E's in my Instagram are 3s. So you go NIT3 MAR3 BLISS on Instagram. But it's in my link tree below, and it's also on my my banner for my YouTube channel here. So if you see my banner on my homepage, click on that. But I've been posting, I went crazy posting update, like all the stuff from the last 2 days. So if you want to see all of our shenanigans in Dublin and Bunratty, it's like saying Bunratty, and everywhere else, and traveling across Dublin and Temple Bar and all that. There's stuff there, and I guess I'm gonna go so we can go get some rest. And I gotta wash this makeup off, and I've been wearing makeup the past 2 days too. I got up at he woke me up at 4:22 in the morning. I couldn't fall back asleep, so I got up at 5:30 and did my makeup. And I have to say, you can't see it because it's dark, but it lasted all day long. The lips did not, but the eyes did. So thanks for watching me in the dark in Dublin on this very cool little private garden. The name of the hotel is Zanzibar Lock. It's kind of a boutique hotel. It is very cool. They have their own coffee house here that I call Hello Charlie, right? I'm in love with this coffee house. They make the best lattes. The best latte. So I'm going to be doing coffee tastings tomorrow too, because there's a couple of coffee places I want to go to that are in Temple Bar. You could tell they're all very competitive coffee places here. So I'm going to be like, I think tomorrow, other than the whiskey tasting, it's going to be coffee. So fun day tomorrow. Come back and I will probably do something about the Irish Whiskey Museum and about the boat cruise. I don't know if it'll go up tomorrow. I can't, it's hard to say with my uploads when things are going up because I didn't bring my laptop and my iPad charger is not working. We've tried everything and it's not charging, it won't work. So something is weird with it, and I frankly can't be bothered with it. So whatever I can't upload on my phone, all I can do is record on my phone like this and upload in one fell swoop. So I will see you guys again. Thanks for watching from beautiful, beautiful, amazing Ireland and Dublin specifically. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Wait, how do you say it? Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Sláinte. Bye.